Joining me now is the governor of the Empire State, Kathy Hochul. Governor Hochul, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.
Appreciate the opportunity to have a conversation with you about these issues. As you mentioned, New York is front and center. We always have been. We're right here, blocks away from the birthplace of the LGBTQ movement, so that's also another right that's under attack. But thank you for the chance to have this conversation.
Sure. So have you officially called the legislature, called a special session?
They are meeting at noon on Thursday.
Noon on Thursday.
I wasted no time. We've been working with legal experts in anticipation of what steps we could take. We have to comply with the Supreme Court's dictate. But I'll tell you, I'm going right up to the line to make sure that in places like right here, we're about to have millions of people gathering for a pride parade to celebrate this movement that started here. I don't want people packing heat. I don't want people carrying guns concealed through here because that'll wreak havoc. I just spoke in a church in Southeast Queens. They don't want people walking into church with a gun. Do they have to put up metal detectors now? So there's a lot of fear out here. So we're going to make sure that sensitive places, and we will identify what those are, will be a safe haven, a safe place from concealed weapons. And we're also going to empower local property owners, businesses, restaurants, to be able to have the power to say, no, we don't want you coming in. So, and also increasing our requirements to receive the permit and additional training as well, in-person training. So we're doing what we can. But this is extremely frustrating.
You were very angry, and correct me if I'm mischaracterizing your demeanor at your press conference after that decision was made. As the governor of this state, explain to the American people why that Supreme Court ruling is wrong.
Because we work so hard, literally a week before, to pass nation-leading gun safety legislation. I'm from Buffalo, New York. The graves on my neighbors, 10 minutes from where I live, were slaughtered in that grave. Those graves are still fresh. And the Supreme Court totally not caring that governors have rights to protect their citizens. If the people of the state don't like where we're going, they will take it out on us at the polls, but they want these gun safety laws. And it's not even new legislation. It's 100 years old.
Right.
So we just passed, we banned assault weapons for people under 21. We have tougher red flag laws. We banned all kinds of magazines. We're doing what we can here, and all of a sudden, despite our best efforts to protect the citizens of this state, my number one job, the Supreme Court comes along and says, oh, we just don't want you to have that right to do that anymore. What gives here? And then shift that to abortion? I mean,
Right.
It's beyond the pale. So yeah, I'm angry, yeah, but I take that anger and I harness it and I mobilize it. And I also speak to the people of the state and say, this is New York. These rights are not going away. This is a place where we had abortion access 3 years before Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade is now part of our state law. But we're looking to find any other ways we can strengthen. We've protected our providers. We gave them immunity already. I signed legislation to protect providers who could be sued if someone comes from out of state. We're protecting them. We also have no extradition treaty, so no one can be brought from our state. We got ahead of this a week ago. I signed all this legislation, as well as giving $35 million to abortion providers so they can beef up their services, because we're going to get a flood of people. I have declared this as our safe harbor. This is where we have the Statue of Liberty, welcoming people who are oppressed, women who cannot receive fundamental right to control their body or receive an abortion. They are oppressed. They're welcome here in the state of New York.
It sounds like, as you said, you were prepared for this. The state was prepared for this. But how forward-thinking are you in that? I can't remember. It was Mara Gay of the New York Times. I heard her talk about this after the draft was leaked, the Alito draft was leaked, about how friends of hers were deleting period tracking apps from their phones for fear that the government would use that to then prosecute them for seeking reproductive health services. Has your thinking gone that far to try to anticipate where the federal government could be going?
And isn't it reprehensible that we have to have this conversation? I mean, is this a police state? Is this where we cherish people's freedoms? Or we're going to have government telling us what we can do, not just in our bedrooms, and maybe taking away the access to even contraception, which they telegraphed they would do. This is not wild speculation on our part. They said they would do that, as well as talking about making it a national law to ban abortion. I mean, my God, how far have we fallen so quickly? So all of these are going to be mobilized at the polls. I guarantee it. This is going to be creating a motivation of people who were complacent in the past We saw what happens when you get a Donald Trump in and 3 Supreme Court justices who should not be there. This is the direct correlation to people exercising the right to vote and what happens.
Is it really, Governor? Because I mean, I hope you're right. But the courts and judges have never been motivating factors for Democratic voters the way they've been for Republican voters. Do you think because the court took concrete action and stripped the stripped a right away from the American people, from women, that will move people to the polls to vote for Democrats, if not pro-choice politicians, no matter the party?
I'll tell you what, I've been speaking at rallies to protect abortion rights in this state for 30 years. We always talked about that possible day, someday in the future. It was feeling like Chicken Little. The sky could be falling, but, the sky fell. Okay, Chicken Little was right. The sky just fell on all of us. And if that's not a motivating factor, for my daughter in her 30s, this was a fight of my mother's generation, my generation, and I have a brand new granddaughter. I did not think it was going to have to be the fight of her generation. So this is deeply personal. I have been at rallies, I've been speaking all over, people coming up to me, sobbing in my arms. I was in Brooklyn yesterday at a farmer's market, a woman just crying in my arms saying, don't let this happen to us. So it's as deeply personal. I've never experienced something like this in my life of working in politics since I was a teenager. There is strong anger out there. That anger, not a Democratic issue. Republicans, independents, women just want to be able to make their own decisions, and have government tell them that they cannot is shocking. So yes, it'll be a motivating factor. I think we'll increase our numbers in the House of Representatives. We'll increase our Senate, because when they know that there are forces out there, leaders like McCarthy, who says, well, now we can have a national ban. Okay. That's a wake-up call to anybody who ever decided to sit out an election.